Welcome to the Julie Laughton Living Podcast, the place to get advice, tips, and tricks to building the life and luxury home of your dreams with 30-year business owner, designer, and builder, Julie Laughton. It all starts with a good plan. This is Julie Laughton Living.
Welcome back to another Julie Laughton podcast. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about custom kitchens and selecting your countertop and your backsplash. The most important thing about the whole process is, the plans. It all starts with a good plan and the space planning. And then the next course is picking yours and the surfaces. And so I always do of course, what's screwed and glued to the walls first. And your countertop and your backsplash is the place where you do all the work. I mean, that's where you perform all your tasks. And that's the visual appeal when you walk in the room. Boom, what do you see? The backsplash. So in the kitchen, it's the cabinets, of course, but the countertop and the backsplash, you want to make sure it's material that you can live with, because maintenance is huge. And if you can live what you've selected, meaning it's easy to care for or not, because some people want to do like calca marble or white marble, and that's impossible to keep clean. But there are sealers to keep it clean. But the little water spots show up more, and the little rings from your drinks show up. So it's always funny when a client, I want this white marble and it's but they call me every day. Oh my God, it's showing spots. I'm like, well, you picked it. But so the thing of tops, the good news today is that, there's all these beautiful stones, God-made stones that come from the earth, but there's man-made stones that look just like it now. So you can use porcelains and Caesar stones and Sile stones. There's all these wonderful products that are basically bulletproof, and you can't stain them, you can't burn them, you can't harm them. So my thing lately is to use the man-made products for most people in their kitchens because of the maintenance factor, especially if you actually cook, um, you still get the beautiful look, but they're just, you wipe water and a little cleaner and you're good to go. So just be careful what you pick, because natural stone is a different animal than man-made, but you can still seal the natural stone and you'll be fine. But you'll have to clean it differently over time and buff it and, refurbish it. Whereas natural stone, the man-made stone, you don't have to refurbish it, and constantly. But my other tip is I like to use the slab as the backsplash and keep it kind of uniform and keeps it kind of light. And you get that natural look where you can take the veins of the marble and, it kind of flows. But my favorite backsplash is a slab, the same as a counter. I like it simple. I don't like fancy backsplashes and all this fancy design, but that's just me. Okay, so when you design a custom kitchen, it's like a huge amount of information. Oh my God, there's so many questions to ask, because my thing is architectural design, interior design, and custom kitchens. I actually took that, all those courses and certifications and all that good stuff. Custom kitchens is huge because, first of all, it's the overall space plan. And then it's like, hey, who cooks? Who's going to cook? Who's going to be cooking with you? I mean, who uses this kitchen? How do they use it? Do you have small kids, older kids? Do you have a huge family? I mean, do you have tall people, short people? I mean, you got to go through all the ergonomics of who's using it. Can the kids reach their snacks and drinks by themselves, or do you not want them to have access? How many refrigerators do you need for beverages? I mean, because I like the main refrigerator to only have food in it. And then the beverages where all the people want drinks and snacks and, yogurts and stuff is in another refrigerator. And of course, you have your wine refrigerator, your beer refrigerator. I mean, it's endless, but you don't want to mix things because the traffic flow in a kitchen is busy. So you got your workstations, you got, how many dishwashers, one or two, and are they double drawers, or do you need one just for your wine glasses? Or do you barbecue, or do you more? I mean, what are you doing in there? Because some people are like to bake more than they, anything, and some people just barbecue. They barely use their oven or their stove, and some people literally just use one of those convection ovens. Some people don't cook. But they want their kitchen to be beautiful. And I have a lot of jobs like that where nobody cooks, and the kitchen cost a fortune, but it makes the home, so it's funny because the questions that I go through with the client is a very long list, and then we measure all stuff because some people have really cool, you know, assortment of dishes and containers and how they store things, and it's just endless. Every single square inch of that kitchen is laid out, designed, and itemized. Okay, so when you're talking about selecting the materials that are screwed and glued to the walls, you got the like I was saying before, I like natural, man-made, made by God materials, marbles, you know, and limestones and all that good stuff. So what it is the floors are man-made, but if you have a natural product in the house, in the kitchen, you start with the first. I start with what's out the window. What am I looking at? And then I take the God-made natural materials, and I look at those, and I get all the colors from that. And then besides looking out the window, and then you select the flooring and the cabinet color, and all that gets selected in a nice orderly fashion. And then the last thing you select is a paint, because the paint colors are endless, and you can cut 'em, and the floors are almost endless. But you start with your natural materials first, and then you build from there. So part of the process of doing all this, of course, is I don't just go out and randomly pick stuff. I mean, the client's going to tell me what they want, right? So how do they tell me? Because some people can't describe it. So their homework is to show me pictures. And then through the series of pictures, I figure out what they like, why they like it. But the pictures tell everything. Eventually, after a series of pictures, and then I start pulling a bunch of samples, and then we narrow it down to 2 or 3, and then we finally pick. But that process, to make it the easiest for the client, is to do photos. Thank you for joining me on another Julie Laughton podcast. Hope you enjoy my tips. And this one, again, was about selecting countertops and backsplashes. And remember, natural materials are gorgeous, but if you're not into maintenance, pick those man-made ones. They look just the same at the end of the day. And before you click off, or after you click off, 7 simple steps. It explains everything when you remodel or build a custom home. And I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Julie Laughton Living. For more information or to connect with Julie one-on-one, visit julielaughtonliving.com. And don't forget, it all starts with a good plan.